Hi, everybody. Welcome to another movie chat. And we've got Joe Mayo, Tim Allen, Tom Hunyadi, and also Sasha, also known as Mellow Fellow. So we're starting off this show. I know that Tom doesn't have very long here today. He's only got like 45 minutes or so. Are you going to see a movie or Finer Things in Life or both?
Well, yeah, finer things in life. But I will on Wednesday. We are gonna go see the Odyssey. So looking forward to that. So hopefully, if I'm able to join next week. I'll be able to talk about that a little bit.
All right. So now you've been missing for a while, Tom. So I assume you have some movies to talk about or show.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been really busy, but I have picked up two films recently on Blu-ray that I'll show. One being, I'm a huge Sterling Hayden fan, and one film that I picked up is called Terror in a Texas Town.
Hmm.
This I think is 1958, if I remember correctly, but uh, Sterling Hayden. He's a Swede, and his father had been in Texas for a while, and Sterling had come to America to help his father, and unknowings to him that his father was murdered before he got there, and he needs to find out why and how to get his revenge. So this is a fun little western B movie at best. Nothing too special, only 80 minutes long. But again, it's got your classic good guy, your classic bad guy, and it's just a fun little western. So uh, check that out if you can. And uh, one of my favorite Martin Scorsese films has finally come to Blu-ray, and that's Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, starring
Hmm.
Ellen Burstyn. I think this is the movie she won the Academy Award for Best Actress for, if I remember correctly. If
Hmm.
I got to go back and look, but anyways, again, the Scorsese directs a lot of his couple people, great cast. You also got Diane Ladd in here. I mean, and this is really where Mel's Diner started, right here, right? Or isn't that what was the name of that show?
Al,
Was it
That's it.
Mel's Diner? No,
it was
what
just
was it? What
Alice.
it was just
Alice.
Alice. Thank you. Yeah, that's right.
It's
Just
called
Alice.
Alice with Mel
Just
running it.
Alice. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's really where this came from, or where that came from. Anyways, Chris Christopherson is also in here. Harvey Keitel is also in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Mine
Excellent,
was delivered. Just got mine delivered today.
excellent, very
Wow.
good. So yeah, and plus, it's the great Criterion is the greatest genre of all time, as we
And
know.
Jodie Foster.
And
Don't forget Jodie Foster in this.
Jodie Foster as well. Before she was in Taxi Driver, she makes a little role, has a cameo in here. Really good cast. It's got some nice special features. It's got a really good interview with Ellen Burstyn in here, talking about a lot of her career, her major roles that she's had throughout her career. So this was a fun one. It is a fun one. I haven't checked to see how the transfer is yet, but
Might be a little grainy
just
or maybe a little green tint to it or
I
something.
think it might be grainy. It might be a little too grainy for you, Joe.
Yeah.
but
It's
Me too.
Scorsese. He got director
yeah,
approved. I'm sure it's.
yes. Well, that's just the thing. Is just it is the director approved. I know Criterion will often either do a director approved or a cinematographer approved transfers, which I think is nice. And I know we talked about this before, Joe, because sometimes you've seen how. Now, what was the movie? Was The Graduate or something like that? I can't remember what film it was. You said that you liked how the old MGM Blu-ray or
There were
DVD looked
there are a lot of
compared.
movies from Criterion that
Right,
I saw like other version better. Dress to Kill was one of them, but there was
right,
also maybe The Graduate, maybe Tootsie,
yeah, right,
and well, the main one was Targets. Peter
Targets.
Bogdanovich. There was something about
Right.
that. I don't know. It's hit and miss for me, Criterion.
Right.
And I still think they used to be the greatest in the world in the Laserdisc days and all that. But now I think a lot of other people are doing besting them, actually.
I think as long as they've got the filmmakers involved, they look how they're meant to look, because they
right.
they're the ones.
You always say that. I love, but there's examples where people have said like director approved, and it sucks. Like I forget which ones that is. Like I'm thinking of Dracula, Frank Langella, Dracula. I forget the Badham, director Badham.
Oh yeah.
Is that his name? Anyway, and
he
changed
called?
The whole color palette of it or something. And it was like that was the way he wanted it or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but no, it's good to have the director's input, though. I mean, unless you change it to E.T. holding walkie-talkies instead of holding guns.
Well, that's a whole. Yeah, that's a whole nother. Yeah, that's when you don't want them to get involved.
That's what you call revisionist.
Right, that's revisionist. That's completely different. Like what.
But when the director does it, revises it, then what?
Well, that's a dictatorship, I guess. But anyways, I did watch. I also watched this. I had to get this from the UK. This is Master and Commander: Far Side of the World. It's a region B or 2 or whatever. So thankfully I got a region free Blu-ray player. I've always loved this film, and this one looks fantastic. I love John Waters. I watched his his movie Hairspray from 1988, also on Criterion. That was a lot of fun. I hadn't seen that before. That was one of the few John Waters films I hadn't seen yet. Wow. But I Divine's in this one. We're in the remake. John Travolta plays the Divine character.
Really?
Yeah. Believe it or not.
Yeah, Debbie Harry's in it too for a minute.
Yeah, Debbie Harry's in there too. Yeah, she plays the rival, Ricky Lake's rival's mom, and Sonny Bono is her husband. Yeah. So that's quite a pair right there. Sonny Bono and Debbie Harry.
Can I tell you a quick story about that movie, Tom? Really quick. Please. I took some classes in the 90s at American University in Washington, D.C. And we were in this literature class, and this guy that always sat across from me, he looked familiar. And one day the professor decided to tell each other, just tell a little about ourselves and blah, blah, blah. And when it gets to him, and remember in the film, there's a guy with a little concession stand that's selling sodas and snacks and stuff to the kids. It was that guy.
Right.
I had a class with that guy. That's why he looked familiar.
Very good.
He was teaching you, or he was a student with you?
No, he was a student. He was a student just sitting across from me.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen some pretty good movies the last month or so since I've been on. The one movie I'll talk about, one movie that I was really happy about, and this is a movie called Tuner. This is the film that had Dustin Hoffman in it. He was a supporting character in the film, and I got to tell you, it was really nice to see Dustin Hoffman on the big screen again. I hadn't seen him in a film for a while, or a recent film in a while. I know he's been in a few films here and there, but I think maybe the last film that I think I've seen him on the big screen was the second Fokker movie, maybe.
Really?
And he was fantastic. Yeah, he was fantastic. He was great. I mean, he hasn't lost anything. I wish he would do more, or somebody would hire him to act, because the guy still has it, and it was really good to see him on the big screen again. So check out Tuner if you haven't seen it.
Does he have a sizable role in that?
It's a supporting role. It's more of a supporting role. He's probably got a good 20 to 30 minutes in the film, maybe more closer to 20. So yeah, it's more of a supporting role, but the lead, he's a piano tuner, but he has hearing issues. He has what he explains he's allergic to sound or loud noises, really. So he has to wear special headphones. He's got earplugs and headphones to drown out a lot of noise. So one day he's tuning a piano, and he's find out that the house that he's in is also being robbed. Okay, so he goes to try to find out where the noise is, and he finds there are people trying to break into the safe. Now, because this guy has, certain hearing issues, somehow he's able to, open a safe by just putting his ear next to it, and he can hear, really light sounds or whatnot, but it has to be like totally quiet. So he does this. He gets Dustin Hoffman character kind of gets into a little trouble. I won't say what, but not really trouble. But anyways, but his character needs money. So now that he's affiliated with these kind of like bank robbers or whatever, he kind of tries to get money to try to do something to help Dustin Hoffman's character. So there's that, and it was really good. Like I said, it was really nice to see him back on the screen. I saw a really good movie. It might be my favorite movie of the year. It's called The Invite. Okay, this is with Ed Norton. This is Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, and why am I forgetting the Spanish woman's name? She was in Blow. And
I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah. But anyways, so it's just four people in the movie. Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde are neighbors to Ed Norton and his wife's. Why am I forgetting her name? But anyways, and they're coming over for like just to meet and greet and just have a party. Anyways, little do Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde characters realize is that these neighbors are also swingers. So there's some fun that happens, or fun that could potentially happen in the film, but everything goes so wrong as it does in comedies or dramedies or whatever. So this was a lot of fun. The laughs were really great, and the dialogue was fantastic. I've always thought Ed Norton was a fantastic actor. I think he'll get nominated for Best Supporting Actor in this film. And maybe the whole cast. You never know. I think this was really good. So definitely check out the Invite in theaters now. And I did see this movie called Obsession, which I don't know if any of you guys saw Obsession, but this was one of the smarter. I don't know if y'all wouldn't call it horror, but maybe psychological horror. But a guy he's in love with one of his coworkers. He wants the coworker to like him, obviously. So I mean, the premise is kind of tired, with the guy wants a woman to like him, so he finds a way for the girl to like him. However, it goes terribly wrong, and there's some really gross scenes. There's a couple gross scenes in the film that I won't.
Yeah, you hinting at that.
Yeah, that I won't describe here, but boy, it's a modern horror genre maybe, but it did fantastic at the box office. I'm kind of happy. I mean, it's made over 400 million worldwide. So it's amazing how you can do a really good horror film cheaply, and it's fun to see some of these do really well, because these movies can go either way. If they don't get like a good word of mouth, even though it is a good movie, no one was going to go see it, but a lot of people saw it, and I'm happy. And the same with a movie called Backrooms too. Not as scary as Obsession, but it's more psychological than anything. If anybody's claustrophobic, maybe they won't want to go see it or not. But yeah, even though I haven't been here for a while, I have seen a lot of movies at the theater, and for the most part, good. I will say, I know I've talked to Joe a little bit about it, but Supergirl is probably the biggest disappointment And Disclosure Day. I would say Disclosure Day was, I think, even though I liked it, the more I thought about it, it was kind of a disappointment as well. So.
All right. Well, what were you disappointed in Supergirl?
Well, just the fact that the protagonist, so she's trying to defeat bad guys that were kind of more like sex trafficking, okay, or female traffic. Anyways, they're stealing women all over the galaxy or whatever. And that's just like an issue that we could deal here. I wanted more of a cosmic, more issues that we don't see here on the planet Earth. I thought it could have been definitely more creative. Listen, I know a lot of people didn't like the casting. I didn't mind the casting as much. But again, and then the other issue too is for this new established DC universe to have the second movie a B-level character at best. I thought was a bad move. They should have went with a Wonder Woman or Batman next. Instead of Supergirl. So, and that was my thoughts on that. Yeah.
Are we tired of Batman and Superman?
Yeah, but still, but the Batman sells. Batman sells just like Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
I like it when it's done right, like the Matt Reeves Batman.
Yeah, the Matt Reeves Batman, and that just got delayed again. I mean, that was now that they're saying that's not going to come out until 2028. That was supposed to be originally come out at the end of this year. So, but I don't know.
All righty. Well, thanks, Tom, for that. Let's see.
Sorry, I bored everyone with all the new movies.
No, I was going to ask you. You mentioned Dustin Hoffman. Have you seen a film called Barney's Version? He plays Paul Giamatti's father. That's good.
No.
It's a nice little character piece. I recommend
What's it called?
Barney's Version. It's based on a book, which I have, but I haven't read it. Yeah,
Barney's Version?
Yeah, Paul Giamatti is Barney, and Dustin Hoffman's in it, and his son as well makes a cameo.
Okay, great.
Hey, why don't we just say hello to some people here?
Yeah.
Like, for example, we have Ramoga up here saying hello. Hello, Ramoga. Yep. And looks like Arizona and Mick and Sherry Carter. And Tom got his sandals and toga ready for his Odyssey.
I do. Yeah.
Hello there, Douglas. These are all questions from earlier on. I mean, comments from earlier on. I saw that recently. Alice film. Her son was very good in that film. And hello to James. I'm seeing a lot of people like Eddie, for example. There we go. I can't read that. I don't know how to read that. What do you got there, Sasha?
I'm just looking at Alice Doesn't Live Anymore.
Yeah, Ellen Burstyn's son does have a small role in that, yeah.
Hello, George. A few comments here.
Cool. Glad you like it. I mean, it made over $260 million worldwide in its first weekend, so it's doing well.
Well, it's a big hit because it's a first-time filmmaker. YouTuber made that Obsession.
Well, no, I mean the Odyssey. The Odyssey did.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah,
but yeah, that's the thing, though. I mean, Hollywood is taking chances on YouTubers now. I guess that are making films. Yeah, there you go.
No, I've liked a lot of the more modern horror films in recent times. I'm just putting some people up here real quick. Hello, just acknowledge you. Not boring at all, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, George.
Eric says, "You've seen the new Spider-Man movie?" Yeah, I ran right out and saw it.
It's
I
not
didn't.
out yet. It's not out yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Penny Lane.
I stopped watching those at Age of Ultron. It got too much for me. I haven't seen anything from Marvel since Age of Ultron.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of allergic to overuse of CGI, I think.
Oh, that's a lot of movies these days,
Yeah.
especially action movies and superhero movies. I'll tell you that finally there is a movie that I want to see. But of course, if I want to see a new movie, it's usually based on something old or has an old actor in it, such as this, for example. I've seen a trailer about this.
Oh yeah.
I play Rocky.
Yeah, the actor playing Rocky, or Sylvester Stallone or whoever, he played Al Pacino in the TV series The Offer that came out 5 or 6 years ago. And The Offer is about the making of the Godfather film. He's a really good actor. I think this is going to be fantastic. I kind of like this approach that some of these movies that are like, about the making of something. There was like that Psycho movie where Anthony Hopkins played Hitchcock. There's a couple other films like this, and I think this is going to be good. I like the trailer, but I'm definitely going, Joe. Hopefully we can do a show on this or something.
Well, I'm anxious to see it, and he looks like it looks like good casting, and it's really because it's about his struggle to get the movie written and made, and for him to star in it.
Yeah,
so
you can mock me. I saw the trailer and I thought it was AI. I thought it's all AI.
Hey, these days you can't trust your own eyes. Nobody knows.
So many trailers like that have been made that are AI. I thought this is just another one.
YouTube has actually cracked down on that. They've actually gotten cracked down on a lot of these AI YouTube channels that produce AI generated trailers, fake trailers, if you will. So I think there's something being done about all that stuff that you see on YouTube. So
yeah, well, good. So there you go, 70 millimeter.
Yeah, I don't know if I am going to an IMAX screening. I just don't know. I'm not 100% sure if it is 70 millimeter.
Yeah, Madhouse with Vincent Price from '74. I'm not that familiar with it. I know what he looks like. I know he's got the clownish makeup and the hat, big hat. I'm not as familiar with that as I should be, because I like those kind of movies. But I have watched 0 movies. I have been traveling. What is this? Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise in a movie called Digger. Yeah, looks really interesting as well. I mean, Tom Cruise is pretty unrecognizable in this film. They've aged him using makeup, hopefully, and
he just isn't wearing any, probably.
Right. Age is finally caught up with Tom Cruise, but but this one looks really good. The trailer is out there, guys. So
from the director of The Revenant.
Yeah, Alejandro. Yeah, The Revenant. Yeah, the director's fantastic. Fantastic.
Well, guys, I picked up one movie, which I know 4D Man saw this already. I showed this, and it's a movie that I did see. I've seen it a long time ago. I think I remember it being fairly good, but I can't remember. But I thought for $2 I'd pick it up again. Panic in the Streets.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
With Jack Palance, right? Richard Widmark, and of course Ilya Kazan there. So so it was pretty damn cheap. So I figured, all right, I'll give it another view. I watched one movie, I guess you could say. Again, it was a situation where my girlfriend and I were going around the dials, and we caught TCM was going to be doing. This is again a movie I've seen a few times, but not in a long time. It was going to show the 1980 movie. I have to say 1980 because there's a remake of Fame, and I absolutely love that movie. So does she. Haven't seen it in a long time. That movie, Fame, was the first date movie I ever went on, and it was quite an experience back then. And I was a teenager, and I just enjoyed it. It's about the High School of Performing Arts, and students that go there, and they want to be famous. They want to be dancers. They want to be actors and comedians and musicians and all this, and the struggles they have to go through. And it's not always pretty. And that showing, I like the balance of the music bits, because the musical bits are great, I think. And then also the drama and the heartache they got to go through. I always say that the movies, most of the movies that I like, not all, but most of the movies have good characters, and there's well written personality thing, and that's what there's a lot of good characters in here, all of them different with their own weaknesses and strengths and struggles. They're well drawn, and a great direction by Alan Parker. And I just really enjoyed revisiting it again. I want to give a special kudos to Barry Miller. I don't know if a lot of people know him. He's in Saturday Night Fever. He's done some roles back in that time, the 70s and the 80s, mostly.
Was he the Travolta's priest brother in?
He was the one who was I guess, was he going to was he going to unalive himself?
Oh yeah. He was. He was the friend. Yeah, he was the friend that ended up jumping. Yeah.
Yeah, and in this movie, I mean, I think he gives a great performance as a tortured soul, kind of, who's like he's tough, he's funny, he wants to be a comedian, but he's got a lot of pain and hurt and stuff that he puts on a front and that kind of thing. I think he's fantastic in the movie. And I also want to give props to Ann Mira of Stiller and Mira, who plays a teacher in a dramatic role, who does a great turn in here, and she's got to deal with the students and all that. So I really like this movie a lot, and it also brings back personal memories for me from that era, because I saw it when I was 18, and the girl that I was dating for a while during this period, all that kind of thing. But it's mostly, I love the movie anyway. I mean, I could tell you another first time date I saw a movie that I don't remember anything about it. The Man with One Red Shoe. I don't remember a damn thing about it. So, it just goes to show you it's not just the memory of it. So, and that's really all I did. We're finishing up Frasier, the TV show, and I just get the feeling again, my opinion, after Niles and Daphne get together, it's not the same. And there's some good moments and some good episodes. But man, it seems like they're like, let's try to finish writing this so we could just finish the series, because we can't come up with too many ideas. And I'm having a good time with the show, but my girlfriend really loves the show Frasier. I'm just
is it a rewatch for you?
I'm sorry,
you've seen it before, or is it a first time watch?
Frasier, this is the first time, really. I mean, we had it, unless you count the fact that I've seen episodes sporadically over the years, but don't really know them well. It's like a first time experience for me. I just saw one with was it Laurie Metcalf is in it or something? It's in the last season, or season 11, which is what we're up to. And I can't describe it. I'm just saying this for anybody who knows the show, where she's kind of like a little bit of a nymph, and she's a children's show host, but she's like has this unreleased desires that she needs, and she's with Frasier and everything. There's a scene where they have a bed under the stage, like in the basement or something, and they're in the bed, and then she loses track of what time her show for the kids is supposed to start. She's supposed to be in the bed by herself, and the bed goes up, at the wrong time. Oh shit, and it goes up to the stage, and that. It was funny, that one. But I find like just a few things, like the character in Niles, I liked him much better when he was, desiring Daphne and all this. And he seems more adjusted, seems more well adjusted. He still has his moments where he's a little odd, but he's too adjusted for me, I think, and everything. And Daphne, to me, becomes downright bitchy a lot. After in this, and I don't know, I'm just not enjoying it as much now, but it has its moments. That's me. So for anybody who knows Frasier or cares, oh wait a minute, that Metcalf character appeared in Cheers. Was it Emma Thompson who played her? I thought it was Laurie. Her name Metcalf, the one from Frasier. Jeez, Laurie, from Roseanne. There's Roseanne's sister in that show.
Oh yeah, she was very good in Internal Affairs.
Yeah. I've even seen her as Sheldon's mother in that other show I can't stand.
Not Emma Thompson. She would have been way too young.
No, it's not Emma Thompson. It's Laurie Metcalf.
Yeah.
You say the Metcalf character. That's the actress's name. Talking about. Isn't that right, 4D man?
I guess so.
Excuse me, I'm just going to get some ice. I'll be back.
Well, ice for the whiskey?
Ice for the whiskey's gone. I'm on the brandy.
Okay.
Oh, everybody's got to drink to be on my show. There's just no other way people
No,
can.
I mean, it's here. I might as well use it. You know, that's what it's there
That's
for.
right. That's right. I approve.
So I did not see the man with one red shoe in a drive-in. No. Let's see. A classic Flicks released a DVD of the first two Laurel and Hardy features last winter. Now they have a clip of an upcoming DVD of the Bohemian Girl. It looks better than ever, nice and sharp. I'm not going to upgrade that. I don't remember that being a favorite of mine. I'm not going to upgrade that one. You can't upgrade everything. You know, I can't.
Right.
No.
If I could, I would.
You bust out the leg warmers and whatever that other thing is for fame. No. Great times.
Why am I thinking that Richard Attenborough had something to do with fame? Am I wrong?
I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell for me.
No, I haven't seen it since the 90s.
Are you talking about the remake? Oh, the remake was 2009, I believe.
No, I'm talking about the original one.
And speaking of Kelsey Grammer and Frasier, I heard he was in the remake. Yeah, that's another movie. Don't remake Fame. I mean, whatever. It's perfect as is.
Yeah. I remember that line from I stopped watching that series, but 30 Rock. There's this young secretary, and she says, "You know the old film Meet the Parents from 2004?"
Yeah, it's an old film, all right.
Yeah.
I think it's 2000 even.
I think that's, she said Meet the Parents.
I'm going to try to explain this one more time. Now, I could be wrong about the actress. I think we're talking about two different things here, okay? There's an actress, it's, I don't know if it's the same one. I forget what her name is in this episode, her name is not Metcalf. The character's name is not Metcalf in it, I don't think. It's the actress, Laurie Metcalf, who plays the character I'm talking about. I think that's the name, There's an upgrade to Patton that's nice and sharp. Oh, I think I know where you could put that, James Farley. I think that's a dig at me for not watching Patton, but I could be wrong.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know. You never know what's a joke, a dig, and what's not. Odd couple scene, dance at the reform school. Felix, this bar came off the window. Oscar, well, put it back. Later, Felix tells the minister in charge, Minister, well, put it back. I know the episode you mean. I don't remember the scene, though. You got me. There we go. Talking about 4D Man's poster. There's your chance. Put that fire away for 3 seconds and let's see it. Let's see your
I have that film on Criterion.
poster.
I haven't seen the film. I haven't even seen the trailer. So
blowing it up.
It looks like Alec Guinness is playing David Bowie, but he's not, because this poster is 1959, and the fact that Bette Davis is in it as a co-star is quite ironic, because he's playing a dual life. So it's not quite a dual role, but you remember Bette Davis played is it A Stolen Life, Joe? Because you've got the video.
Hey, that's one of the movies I got.
Yeah, so she played two characters, twin sisters in that film, and he's playing kind of a dual role, a dual personality in this one. So that's quite an ironic echo. And if you bear with me, this could all go wrong if it knocks everything over. But let's just see if I can try and balance this without knocking stuff over. Oh, it looks like it's going to fall. There we go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's Jack Palance. This is probably about, I'm guessing, about 1955. This is an insert poster from about mid-50s. And Jack Palance plays a dual role in this. And this is another film I haven't seen, but it's the same kind of theme. So there you go. These insert posters, I took this off the kitchen door to show you this, because that's where I put the insert posters that are framed, is I put them on the doors because they just fit well.
Yeah.
I see. All right. So I think we're ready to do Tim's movies now. Tim, I didn't ask you at the beginning. I usually like to know what's your situation for this past week. How many have you seen, etc.
I didn't buy anything. Couldn't find anything to buy. And as usual, I saw 5 films. 3 classics and 2 newer films. And I don't think I ever seen any of these before. First film is a film called which I love the title. That's why I watched it. It's a Judy Holliday film. She's a lot of people don't like Judy Holliday. She's kind of an acquired taste. I think she's brilliant.
Yeah, good.
Because she has sort of a squeaky kind of voice, but I think she's great. And she and Jack Lemmon are married, but they're not getting along. And you know where it's going to go as soon as it starts, but it's still funny. It's a romantic comedy, not really a romantic comedy, more of a screwball comedy. But they wind up getting divorced, and of course I'll give it away because I knew 30 seconds in that they're going to wind up getting back together, and that's what the whole film is about. And it's just funny watching them get there. I thought it was a really funny film. I thought it deserves more than. I mean, I'd never heard of it, and I'm assuming most people haven't either. But a cool little film. I enjoyed it. And then I saw a film I've been dying to see since I learned about it sometime in the late 80s or early 90s. It may be the first really good Frank Capra film called Platinum Blonde, and I had never seen it before. It had never been available, but since they put out that box last year, somebody put it on YouTube. So I finally have seen Platinum Blonde, and that stars what's her name? I can't think.
Watch this. Let me show you
I always
something.
want to say girl.
Let me show you before you go on here. Fame, director Alan Parker, New York City vibe. I've got to say that a New York City vibe. Ann Mira. I forgot to mention Paul McCrane, Barry Miller. Write some notes.
Well, I know before I go on, and then I just forget.
I forgot to mention Paul McCrane is very good in Fame also.
She's the famous blonde Jean Harlow. That's
Jean Harlow.
And there's this guy that it's a love. It's weird because it's called Platinum Blonde, and she's the star, but she's third billed, which I find funny. Loretta Young is in it too, and she's billed above her, but her part is half of what Jean Harlow's part is. And Loretta Young's a little bit like Betty Davis, who started out very, very pretty, and just something happened, and she didn't age that well.
Yeah, booze. Booze and cigarettes.
She's adorable. There's this guy that's going that works. He's a reporter, and she's his buddy, but she's in love with him and he doesn't know it, and blah blah blah. And me as a guy, I would have picked her over Jean Harlow in a second. But anyway, you kind of, it's a romantic comedy sort of, so you kind of know where it's gonna end up. But I think it's up to this point. This is made about 30, 31, something like that. It's probably Capra's best film to date at that point in time. It's his first really good film, I think. So
and then something happened.
Yeah.
If you live long enough, something. I used to have a full head of Irish black hair down to my shoulders, and then something happened. If you live long enough, something's going to happen.
I can't imagine.
True.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could go into more of these stories, but
all right.
Just if you've seen a lot of old Hollywood films, you can guess the story. And then I saw a very odd film called The Sheriff of Fractured Jaw.
The hell is that?
And this thing, I watched it because it has Jane Mansfield in it, playing this Texas saloon owner with a Southern accent. And I gotta say, it's probably the worst Southern accent I've ever heard in my life. She's fine otherwise, and she falls in love with this guy that becomes sheriff, who's this British guy who's never even held a gun in his life. It's one of those sorts of things, and that part you don't get because you don't understand. They're together like 30 seconds, and suddenly they're in love. But it's not a movie I recommend unless you're a big Jane Mansfield fan, and then it's worth seeing. But it was shot in color, and they did a nice job, and it's okay. Nothing. No. Can she
help it? Can she help it?
You're okay.
No. I've seen her look better. Let's put it that way. They had her hair fairly short, which didn't.
Did anybody's eyeglasses crack when they looked at her?
No. Well, people are looking at her, and she does. This would be interesting to Joe. She does do 2 or 3 songs, but she's not singing. Connie Francis is singing.
Wow. That's the film. The Girl Can't Help It. That's the Beatles.
Yeah.
The Beatles took a break from recording Happy Birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
To all go back to
Birthday.
Cavendish Avenue to watch it because BBC were playing it.
Yep.
Okay.
Now I watched 2 recent films for me. Again, 1990 or after is a recent film. I watched A Simple Plan. Anybody seen this?
Oh yeah, actually, I was thinking about watching that last week, but I didn't. It's the thought.
Interesting. Another film where you kind of know what's going to happen as soon as it comes on. Just from the title, A Simple Plan. Okay, it's not going to work out.
All right.
Can we just take a break here for a minute? I'm sorry. I'll leave this for later.
No, you can interrupt. It's fine.
Because it really doesn't fit. But anyway, just to finish this up. Okay, that's the character. Nanny G appeared once on Cheers, played by Emma Thompson, and once again on Frasier, played by Laurie Metcalf. Same character, 2 different actresses. Fine, but that's not the way you made it sound. You made it sound like it was Metcalf, Laurie Metcalf, or the Metcalf was the name of the character. So I'm not wrong. Okay.
I got the
you're not wrong either. You're not wrong either. You just didn't word it right.
Could you put that into words which even Caesar could understand?
I know lots of people talking. I know it's hard. It's getting real cramped. I know it's hard. Where's John Moreno? Anyway. Ooh, it's also silent.
Anyway, this has Billy. What's his name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Bill Paxton, Billy Bob Thornton, and Bridget Fonda in it. And they find a whole crap load of money and they decide to keep it. And nothing goes to plan.
It's very Fargo-esque, I think.
That's what Sam Raimi
it is
that,
very
right?
Fargo-esque.
Fargo-esque.
It's bleak, but also comedic in a way. I mean, it's very, and Billy Bob Thornton. I like that he's sort of modern day like Lon Chaney. The original. I mean, he likes to make himself up to look weird.
Really?
And, he likes to, get into odd characters. And he's a very odd guy in this. So, but it was good. I liked it. It wasn't never going to be one of my favorite films, but it was good. And finally, this I liked more than I thought I would. Martin Scorsese's Bringing Out the Dead.
The Dead.
Yes. I'd never seen it before. I had no idea what it was about, and it's interesting. I can't. Nicolas Cage plays an ambulance driver, and it takes you into the world of ambulance drivers. And if
I've always wanted to know
how getting sick, you might not want to see this movie.
Yeah, I think I told you watching that film is the best experience I've ever had in the cinema. Was watching that film.
Really?
Cool.
Because I saw it in New York with New Yorkers, and they were rowdy and vocal, and it just made the experience for me.
Those rowdy New Yorkers.
And then you get Patricia Arquette too, which is kind of a quasi love interest, not really, because
he's got three great co-drivers in that film. You got you got Tom Sizemore, and then you got John Goodman. Fun supporting.
I don't usually like John Goodman, but I did actually like him in this. So yeah, a very interesting, just sort of slice of life film about what you hope ambulance drivers aren't really like.
Just like what chefs.
Yeah, not unsimilar to
just like Melman,
Yeah, it's a bit similar to After Hours.
After Hours is one of my favorites.
It's a good
one. Well, it's got that kind of vibe, the overnight kind of thing, and
I didn't mention he works nights. He's trying to get fired, and his boss won't fire him.
Right.
All right, let's do some comments. There you go. What's the matter? You gotta go?
Yeah, I gotta go, everyone. Take care. Good seeing you all. Hopefully I can join again soon.
See you in a few weeks, Tom.
See you in a month.
Yeah, enjoy, everyone. Take care.
Later. All right, 4D, man, what is The Scapegoat and what year did it come out?
1959, but I don't know any more than the poster is telling me because I haven't even seen the trailer. But Sasha,
I remember it being very funny.
Okay.
Well, that is a good idea to hang insert posters on doors.
Yeah, saves you painting and decorating.
Good idea. Yeah.
Well, okay, now I know that's what Tim was saying. I thought that's what he was. What he was trying to say, but I didn't know how to, how to say it.
I don't have the movie physically to show, so I couldn't. But yeah,
that's like the Snake movie,
which it comes from after the divorce. She's walking with her lawyer, and he says, that's it," and that's where the title of the movie comes.
Yeah. Hello, Kimber.
Hey, Kimber.
Okay, give me some films by him, and I'll tell you. I don't know. I can't think of any. What are they?
He was in The Wolf of Wall Street.
I haven't seen it. There you go. A little Beatles thing here because the Beatles are always everywhere. What to a long comment. Jay Mansfield Johnson, George Stewart drink at a photographer.
And Jay Mansfield was offended, I think, by John Lennon, if I remember rightly.
What else is new? John Moreno is having dinner. It's even though this is not very nice to say, Kimba, I gotta concur with you. I've seen some pictures. I can't believe my eyes, honestly. But just saying.
Something happened.
Is that a result of cosmetic surgery?
I think it's a matter of getting fat and old. I don't know. I really think that, there you go. Sorry, that shouldn't Okay, they are showing Othello with Orson Welles on YouTube right now. I would never watch anything with any Othello. It's just me. It's just my taste. You know,
I've seen it.
Well, it's brilliant, and if you like films shot in Venice, about a quarter of the film, maybe a third, is shot in Venice. It looks beautiful, and the whole film is marvelous.
And Wells's style at that period is interesting because literally a black and white film is black and white. There's hardly any grays in it. The contrast is like maxed out as you can get. So they're interesting to watch.
And there's a great I can't pronounce his name. He's an Irish actor who plays Iago, who's like the key role, more than Othello really, in that play. And he's brilliantly sort of scurrilous in that role. Michael McLearmore, I think his name is.
I haven't watched any Sam Neill lately. I know we passed on.
McLearmore, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about.
This did show up today. This arrived today.
I can see it.
And
Diamonds Are Forever, one of the weakest Bonds.
But one of the best Bond soundtracks that John Barry ever did. And this is a special anniversary edition. So it's 2 discs, and there's never been this much material on the soundtrack ever before. So the second disc has a soundtrack, and there are 12 tracks on the original soundtrack. But on the full version, on the first disc, there are 30 tracks on the soundtrack, including 3 different versions of Shirley Bassey singing "Diamonds Are Forever," different takes. And the last of the take, she's singing it in Italian. So you've got that, and you've got all they sourced the original master tapes to put this out. So it's all the source music that John Barry did that wasn't on the original soundtrack, including some source music which was, you hardly hear any of it in the final film. All of it's on here. La La Land is the label that put these out, and they've done quite a few extended James Bond soundtracks, and this is the latest one. They're a bit expensive, especially for UK buyers, but they're well worth it. If you're a John Barry fan, well worth it.
Yeah, there you go. There's a good endorsement for you. In case anybody wanted to know, in a Larry King book, he was traveled with the Beatles in '64 and '5. He wrote that John and Jane were making out in the car on the way to the club. Yeah, it's pretty good. And Sam Neill looked quite handsome with his beard.
Well, according to my mom, every man looks more attractive with a beard than without a beard.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I have to start putting a little dye in mine to make it stand out more. When I shave it close, you don't even know I got a little thing here. Got to do something about that. Oh, any of you guys see Pressure, the movie about D-Day? I guess Tom was going to see it. He's not here. Yeah, movies don't play that very long.
Last one I saw was A Complete Unknown.
That's
But that was my first time in the cinema since 2016. Back.
Yeah, it's a while ago.
I don't really go.
There you go. Right, exactly. John Lennon was married then. Surely he wouldn't do that. Right. That's John for you. And of course,
Jane was married too, or recently separated if she wasn't.
Yeah, and what about George Harrison shagging Ringo's wife? Nobody ever talks about that. It's always John.
Yeah.
There you go. Sam Neill was good in Event Horizon. Yeah, I didn't do anything with I keep thinking Criterion Sale. I didn't do anything with. Kino Sale ends at midnight. I spent $300 on Blu-rays, and 4Ks. I should,
Wow.
I like Kino. So too bad I didn't get into that.
That's a lot of money.
Didn't
Well-
even know you fucking left. You want the truth?
Like Jack Palance said in City Slickers, today ain't over yet.
So should I be saying Palance instead of Palance then?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been saying, I say Jack Palance.
I don't know what I said. What did I say?
Jack
Palance.
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 All that matters is how Jack wants it said. So I don't know how he wanted it said.
Whatever rolls off the tongue is how it's meant to be, I suppose.
That's one thing I notice about doing movies and things. It's how to pronounce things. Names of people sometimes are tough. And I did whenever I was talking about the movie. So what's the Alfred Hitchcock Shadow of a Doubt that I just saw? I looked up how to phonetically pronounce the mother's name. And I still don't remember what it was now, but I know the end of it was pronounced INJ, like Inge, which I can't remember what her name was. Anybody remember the played the mother role in Shadow of a Doubt? Because I don't have it handy here.
No, I put it up there. I have a Hitchcock section.
It was spelled. It was one of those names. The way it was spelled, you didn't know. How to say it. And Clapton with George's wife. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, sure. I saw Pressure, great film if you're a fan of the Weather Channel. There you go. You have till tonight to spend midnight to spend all your money. No, that's okay. Pronunciation has never been a strong point for our American friends. I don't know. I think I could get you on something as an Aussie. An Aussie. I also find that I say horror, like horror. That's supposed to be horror, like horror films, and I always say horror. Even that I can't say the proper way. The book on Mal Evans mentioned George with Maureen Starkey, but enough of that stuff. Three Stooges had a 3D short. By the way, Patty's book, I think, mentioned it too.
I read a George book. And it was a whole. It almost upset me, that part of the book. I was just like, anyway.
George about that. Wait till we find out what Paul's story is when he's gone. Anyway, the Three Stooges had a 3D short in the 50s. They had two 3D shorts in the 50s. One of them was Pardon My Backfire. And another one was called Spooks, which is where this 3D clip comes from.
I've got one of them. It might be that one in 3D. It's an extra on one of the 3D discs I've got. I can't
Sounds familiar.
You can. Oh, that's right. That's the movie I was supposed to. No, not Beat Girl. What was the movie I was supposed to look up that Spring Hill Jim talked about with Christopher Lee in it?
Well, if you bear with me, Douglas, if you just talk amongst yourselves, gentlemen.
Speaking of pronunciation, I've heard that Ray Davies' name is supposed to be pronounced Davis. Ray Davis.
But it depends on where you're from, Brits say aluminium, we say aluminum. Neither one's wrong. It depends on where you're from.
No. A person's name is different.
Well, no. A name can be the same too. It depends on where you're from.
Okay, Tim Alon. Tim Alon, how are you?
I don't know anybody that would say it that way, but
well, you're lucky. You got a name like that everybody knows how to say it. It's very simple. But no, I mean, I would think a person's name has a certain way. Well, then again, some people don't even know. Like, how do people know how their name originally back in their ancestors?
Yeah. I have a friend who says accurate instead of accurate.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
That's
what do you got there, sir?
Well, this is the original motion picture soundtrack by John Barry from 1960. And the lovely story behind this is that I did a lot of business with a guy on eBay that was selling this, that was selling John Barry stuff, and I didn't order this one, but I ordered quite a bit, and he threw this in for free, and it's a beautiful copy. It's really excellent condition.
Careful, all that smoke is going to get in the grooves.
And it was such a nice gesture, and we corresponded for quite a while, but he was just a seller on eBay, and that's the back of it. It looks a little bit beat up, Beat Girl, in terms of the album cover, but actually it plays really fine. And the reason I didn't buy it is because I thought, well, that's his first film score. It's not going to be much good. Actually, it's very good. It's like he hit the ground running, John Barry, when he started doing film soundtracks.
Very good. There you go.
Is it just me, or it looked like the center sticker was a bit off center? Maybe it shouldn't be.
Well, no, I don't think it's off center on the disc, but I think it's off. I think it's off center when I put it in the in the sleeve.
Oh, I think I'm getting into vinyl again. No. God, I don't know. It was fun playing vinyl. Well, 45s I'm always into. And I was playing at the record store today. I was playing a lot of 45s. Just one after the other.
The other thing I got that came the other day is this. I'm not sure of the story behind this. It's a treatment. It's a film proposal by Jim Jarmusch for the film Stranger in Paradise, typed up on a manual typewriter, because this is like 1982. But why? And you can get this. It's not just a one-off. There are other copies of this binded film proposal for Stranger in Paradise, and there are no handwritten amendments on it like I love to see. It's all done and dusted as a film proposal. But what the history of it is, I don't know. Why Jim Jarmusch put this out, I don't know. Was he trying to circulate some money from backers? So I don't know what the story is behind this, but if you look out for it, you can buy copies of this. And I can't remember that I've got the film, but I haven't seen it for a few years, so I can't remember whether this is the entire film. But it could well be, because there's dialogue in it. It's not just a narrated film proposal. There's dialogue in it. And if you remember Jim Jarmusch's films, especially the early ones, they're very minimal on dialogue. And there's lots of silences and pauses, which are scripted. They're in here about long pauses. And there are scenes where there is no action and there is no dialogue, and it's a complete scene. So it could be in somebody's apartment. There's a fade out, a fade back, and we're still in the apartment, and one of the characters is watching television. And there's nothing else to the scene other than that, like a 1 minute scene and then fade out. So there's a lot of that type of scenes in here and minimal dialogue, which make me think this could well be the entire film, which could, even though it's listed as a film proposal, it could count as a screenplay. But I don't know what the history of it is, why it's out there. So there you go.
Yeah,
I'm a big Jim Jarmusch fan. He's maybe the director who I'm most interested in, who's still making pictures.
He got the movie right. He was out off getting it when you were.
There you go. Yeah. I've got it too, but I don't think I've got it on Blu-ray from Criterion. I think mine's DVD.
Yeah. So what's this? There was a little unintentional 3D in late silent films distributed by MGM. They'd shoot each film with two cameras, one for the U.S. negative and the other for the overseas negative.
That's interesting.
The year 3 set of Laurel and Hardy, that is, right, has some shots from Big Business in 3D.
Is it worth saying, while we're on the subject of Criterion and Jim Jarmusch, it's worth subscribing to Criterion's newsletter, because they've got a close relationship with Jim Jarmusch, and every time he allows a film to be put out by Criterion. He refuses to do an audio commentary, but he will cooperate and do a Q&A session. So what happens when one of those is coming out is you'll get a newsletter from Criterion asking you to submit a question to Jim Jarmusch, and Criterion filter out what they think are the most interesting questions. They give them to Jim Jarmusch. He decides which ones he wants to answer, and they end up as an extra on the Criterion disc. And if you're one of the questioners that's picked, you get wherever you are in the world, you get a free copy of that particular Blu-ray. And I was lucky on one of the discs to get a free copy. So it's well worth doing. Doesn't cost you anything.
Of Stranger Than Fiction?
No, it wasn't Stranger Than Fiction for me. It was Dead Man.
Oh, I've just made an alternate cover for Dead Man, and well, I did it a while, but Ghost Dog with a Samurai as well.
Right.
Alternate Criterion artwork. Well, sleeves.
And I don't think have Criterion done Ghost Dog yet?
Yeah, that's one I wanted for years, and I was so happy when it finally happened in 2018. I think.
Right. I've got it on Blu-ray, but I don't think I have it on Criterion.
It was a, what do you call it? A wish list? No, it's one of the ones that I wanted, and it happened.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say, Mello?
Oh my! Will you tell us about your tattoos? I got this one done first, and then this was the second one. But this actually covers up my first tattoo. There is a story here. It says just a friend of mine, and I ended up getting it on my arms.
Interesting.
But the TV series Oz is my favorite TV series, and I got the Oz logo tattooed here on my shoulder, just like in the program with the teardrop and everything.
Oh.
But then after I was covering up that, and this is the most pain I've ever experienced, having a shading right here.
It looks like a good job. I just,
Oh, it's very good, but yeah, well, pain is only temporary,
Well, if you're lucky, some kind is. Let me tell you. Yeah, maybe I was thinking of getting "I Love Lucy" tattooed on my arms. No, I'm kidding.
That would be a minimal ink.
But talking about "I Love Lucy," I was going around the channels, and I knew that Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball had made a movie, The Long, Long Trailer. But I didn't know that there was another one after that. There's was about a camping trip that they were on, and that was the one that was on. I forget what it was called. Maybe Forever Darling, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And he called. I guess then when they do that, Abbott and Costello did the same thing. In Abbott and Costello movies, they'd be different characters' names. They wouldn't be Abbott and Costello. They should just be themselves. But I think so. In this one, it's like instead of going Lucy, and all this, it's Susan. That's the owners are saying. I was at an antique mall which had some vinyl LPs, a movie soundtrack. Why is it just seeing that vinyl LPs getting me excited again like the old days? Why? What happened today at the record store? I didn't look at them, but I've heard that some of these albums really sound great. The thing about movie soundtracks for me, guys, is that I noticed with 4D, you have certain composers, artists that you enjoy. Mm-hmm. So you get all their work. Me, a lot of times I only get soundtracks really of movies I know and like.
Yeah.
There are exceptions. Like The Warlord. I got that soundtrack.
Well, Orson Welles managed to offend every film composer in the world all at once when he said that people enjoy soundtracks because they remind them of the movies that they like.
Right. Well, that's what I do. Like when I play the Planet of the Apes, we'll just say, Larry Goldsmith soundtrack. I'm seeing every scene. I know where I could do the dialogue, and the music will complement it.
So what he was saying, they should stand by themselves. And
some do.
Yeah, well, even in the 1970s, I was buying soundtracks when I had no interest in going to see the film. I just bought the soundtrack.
Yeah. Some of the James Bond ones sound good on their own. Some of them, to me. When I was a kid, my parents had albums of My Fair Lady. The film album was on pink vinyl. It's funny because keeping this about movies too. I saw a 45 by a promotional copy. It was a white label, but Betty Davis, and I forget what it was. The title was it was a one name title song. I mean, whatever the song title was, it wasn't Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. She does a song Whatever Happened to Baby Jane on a single, which I might have that somewhere, but yeah, I forget what it was called, the name of it. Yes, I do have the Mad Magazine with Planet of the Apes. Yes, I do. I should also say I'm working on. We were going to talk about movie and TV. I'm also working again on the Planet of the Apes 1974 short-lived TV series. You know, we watched about 7 episodes so far out of 14. They only did 14 before they were canceled. I just realized. I wonder why they were. Can anybody out there know why it was canceled? I know that Tim knows why.
Yeah.
Well, George Sesford told us once why, and he was serious about that. Was he? You think he thought it was a theory? That
No. He was serious about it. He was totally serious.
Yeah, the apes. He says the reason it was. Like, he had to be joking. He can't be serious. Is because the apes ran out of bullets.
No, he was serious.
So, and I always thought that meant he thought like the bullets were left from like the 20th century or something, and then finally all the ammunition just was used up. And it's like, no, they made their own bullets and their own guns and things. Oh, I could talk about that stuff too forever. Planet of the Apes, the movies and the TV series. You know, I could do a whole channel about that.
My friend who was, well, not last week, but the week before, he was in the chat when you were live, Kubik Lover. He has a friend or relation, I think, who worked on the makeup for the Tim Burton version. I know it's inferior, but he worked on the prosthetics for that.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't like the makeup very much in that movie or the movie, but I'm glad they at least did, you know, physical makeup instead of just CG.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know. With all the smoke from the Canadian fires, I made a joke that we are being visited by the spirits of Betty Davis and Humphrey Bogart. They smoked a lot on screen. Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah, Francis Coppola said when there was zero tolerance for smoking, he said, I don't know what's going to come along to replace the cigarette, because it was, as a device in films, it was great. It did things like pacing, you know, it could pace dialogue, and depending on how you gesture with the cigarette, it could underline character. So Francis Coppola was a great fan of cigarettes in films.
To me, I never was, you know, I mean, I never got into it myself. And even in films, some people say, oh, it's sexy and all that. I was a disgusting person. It's just me. Not just me, but it's me. That's me.
That's probably because you're aware of, you know, the dangers it causes.
No, when I was a kid, I wasn't aware of it. I just thought it was disgusting. I lived with, everybody smoked. I lived with 2 grandparents. They smoked. And they had an old uncle. He smoked. And he was always going, he was spitting it up. To me, ashtrays, ashes, you know, stubbing it out. It was just the most disgusting. It just like dirty and stuff.
Yeah.
No intents offended to anybody out there. Geez, there, no intents offended there. It's a malapropism. Conquest and Battle I saw on VHS. You mean one of the most underrated movies of all time, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, which is not a great movie by any means, but it's not a horrible movie, in my opinion. I'll defend it all day. I saw they are on Disney Plus. Should I watch them again? Of course you should watch them again, but it sucks that Disney has them. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the set with every film in it.
Bogart used cigarettes in his pacing very well, as in scenes with Lauren Bacall in The Big Sleep.
Well, that ties in. Back when I was having an extramarital affair with an American woman, one of the places I took her to was Liverpool Philharmonic Hall, because Liverpool Philharmonic Hall had one of three existing cinema devices in the world, and one of them, the one in the Soviet Union at that time, didn't work. So there was two working models in the world of this underground cinema, which came up from the underground and appeared on the stage of the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall, complete with an organ being played by the resident organist, and up with it came the projection screen for the cinema. And Liverpool Philharmonic still have that. So that's another reason for people to visit Liverpool Philharmonic, is that the other reason is that when John Lennon was rooming with Stu Sutcliffe in Gambier Terrace, that was round the corner from Liverpool Philharmonic Hall, and the pub in Liverpool Philharmonic Hall on the first floor, beautiful Art Deco building, was one of their resident haunts. That's where they would go. So
Art Deco.
Yeah, Art Deco. So, are you dying to show us something there, Joe? In terms
No,
of
not at all. I want to write something down while I remember it.
Okay.
Don't worry.
So I first learned about this underground cinema that comes up onto stage floor for people to see in the mid-90s, because there was a local news item about it, and they were interviewing the manager of Liverpool Philharmonic Hall, and they showed old movies on Saturdays once a month, and they packed the house as surely as if it was an orchestra or a gig that they were going to see. That it would be full of lively Liverpudlians. So the nearest you're going to get in the whole of England to a New York audience is a Liverpool audience in cinema. So I started to drive down there and go to some of these, and The Big Sleep was the one I took the American woman to. And there was a fonder memory I have when I was at university. I took three of my fellow students when we were all doing a master's degree down there to see The Lady Killers, and none of them had seen The Lady Killers before. So it's great to see a classic film with people who have never seen it before. And in the foyer, when they have these events, they sell very cheaply the posters that announce what the film is that you can see. And I bought quite a few over the years. I looked around and I can't find my Frankenstein film, because I got that heat sealed on hardboard. But for the life of me, I can't see that anymore. But I don't know if this is going to work, but I can show you some of the others if you bear with me. I've not opened this roll for, well, this century. I've not opened this roll since the 20th century. So I'll just show you some of the posters that they would announce. I hope you can see it.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see the announcement at the bottom. So that's an old. I don't think Americans will cotton onto the old Will Hay movies, but they were very popular comedies back in the 1930s. So that's one. And I hope I've got The Lady Killers here, because that's a fond memory.
Oh yeah, Dr. Strangelove.
With that great set by who's the production designer? Ken Adam.
Ken Adam, yeah, that's another one I made a custom one for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they never showed new movies because they weren't licensed to do that, but they'd get all the old movies. Oh, here you go. So this is the one that I took my university crowd to see. I took them all in my little silver Mini. We all went up the M62 to go and have a look at this marvelous film.
Yeah.
Which is a color film. It's a black and white photo, but it's a
Yes.
color film. So that's whatever that date says. That's the date when we went to see that film.
Herbert Lom and Peter Sellers, pre-Pink Panther, right?
Yeah. And there's two more.
Oh yeah, that's the first Marx Brothers movie I think I've seen. I saw all the way through.
I
Landed-
love those guys, especially Harpo. I mean, Groucho is the main man, but Harpo is such an angel, and apparently he was an angel in real life. You know,
Hmm.
real angel. Okay, and the last one. So it's fitting that he played the harp. This is the last one I've got since I can't find Frankenstein.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
nice.
Which is the one and only great score by Leonard Bernstein, who could have been, if he wasn't so obsessed with conducting, he could have been a marvelous film composer. Who knows what great scores he would have composed for what films?
Mm.
But all we've got is this and the musical West Side Story.
Well, he did the music for Bringing Out the Dead, which Tim showed earlier. He did the music for that.
Which one was that, Sasha?
Bringing Out the Dead, the Scorsese film. He composed the music for that.
What year was that?
That was 99, because that's when I was in America, 99.
But I think he was dead by then. Was it like an old, some old thing that they adapted to put on the soundtrack?
No, he did. Sorry, am I getting the name mixed up?
Leonard Bernstein?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Elmer.
Oh, Elmer Bernstein, right?
Elmer
Yeah,
Bernstein. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no relation. Yeah.
That's confusing. I was wondering if Diane Keaton's related to Michael Keaton. Shelley Duvall, Robert Duvall's daughter.
But I don't know what the big deal is about conducting. I know it must be like an ego trip, because if you're conducting Mozart for a while, you can pretend that you're fucking Mozart. But in terms of creativity, I don't see conducting as being. I know it can make a difference to an orchestra, but I don't see it being as creative as actually writing a composition, even if the composition is for a film. So I kind of think. I know he was a great educationalist as well. He's done some marvelous broadcasts for CBS, but I just feel the loss of all those great soundtracks that Leonard Bernstein could have done.
Well, we go from that to this. Gorillas riding horses. What more could you ask?
I mean, technically speaking, apes riding horses. It's in the name.
4D, that underground cinema sounds really cool and interesting.
Yeah, I still have, all these years later, I still have on videotape somewhere the original local news item that brought it to my attention in round about 1994.
And
but it's something, if there are any Americans or Canadians or anybody who's thinking of going to Liverpool to do the Beatles thing, that can be one extra thing to look out for when you pass the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall, just to see if they've got a film on a Saturday coming on that you can go and see.
So did you pick up all those posters at the same time?
Probably within 6 months of each other, because I used to go there every month for a while.
I see, said the blind man. Anyway, this is some dialogue from one of my live streams that's a hit with Danny. Danny. Danny says regarding Planet of the Apes movies, I don't know what the thing is about talking apes. And then I say, just stand in front of a mirror and say something. Okay. Clouseau says, how can a blind man be a lookout? Dreyfus says, how can an idiot be a police officer?
I know somebody who genuinely thought that Peter Sellers was French because of his Inspector Clouseau performance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I thought was weird because he's kind of making a mockery of the French.
Dominky.
There you go. We got time for just 30, 40 more questions. Oh, boy. Tired. It's tough doing 3 channels, let me tell you. I got way too many live streams. Hello. Well, hey, hello to me personally. Hey, what's up, Eddie? I'll tell you one thing. I'm gonna say this has nothing to do with anything, but I just want to say, hold on, let me get this right. I can't sing. I never wanna lose you. Best song on a freaking album, man. Nobody talks about it. Why? Because it's pop, it's disco-esque. It's the best song on here. It's like how I feel about I Was Made for Loving You from Kiss. Let me tell you, I got to like this album. Okay? So wait till you see my follow-up on this. I don't love it. I like it better. And Never Want to Lose You is like great disco-y pop song.
I just noticed the two of you are coordinated. You're both wearing black and red.
Yeah, that's kind of strange, isn't it?
That
Yeah.
wasn't planned. Yeah, black
Friday the
t-shirt. and red.
13th.
A little different subject matter, though.
Yeah, but aesthetically speaking,
Is it really? I don't know when you think about it, the Ramones. Hey, by the way, one of the Ramones, I used to see him at the horror conventions. I forget which one. One of them was really into horror films big time, and he used to go browsing around amongst the crowd. I don't know if
They're not there yet now because they're all
He's
dead.
gone. I'm talking about many years ago.
Yeah, but all
Talking
four of
about
them
like the 90s.
have passed.
And it was definitely him because then later on I found out that he does go to those things. Yeah. There you go. Now we say hello to everybody. Everybody happy. Reminds me, I saw The Odd Couple again, the movie too again. Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. That was on Turner. We left it on. So we got it at the beginning. We left it on. Even though I got these movies, I have Fame. I have The Odd Couple.
you know that scene in the diner when he's trying to clear his.
Yes.
That nearly made me faint.
Oh no, don't. I'm sorry. Don't
No,
go there.
look, I can record it without laughing. I'm just saying, watching it, it's dangerous.
It's a great scene. Although I told you I'm partial to the TV show. And I think Felix Unger is much funnier when he's clearing his sinuses. But that is a good scene.
I've got the 2-film set, and it does come with some of the episodes from the TV series too.
Hopefully the better ones. Well, before this is over, it's time for everyone to click on the like button. Yeah.
I think I did before it started.
I will never love the Rolling Stones better than the Beatles. I always say, with sports, it's like the Beatles are the New York Yankees and the Stones are the Mets. It's like that, even though in that case, I prefer the Mets. But I've never seen the movie Performance with Mick Jagger. Is he any good in that?
I haven't seen it.
Now I'm thinking Rough and Twisted's pretty good. In the Stars is good. What was I thinking? That I said the first 4 songs do nothing for me. First listen, but I like In the Stars. I like Jealous Lover. I like Mr. Charm. I like Divine Intervention.
From what I remember, Mick Jagger is very languid in it, as if he's half stoned throughout the film, which he may have been in real life. Yeah, so I think it's Edward Fox. I think he's the one who carries the movie rather than Mick Jagger.
Well, he's a stone.
So it's like Mick Jagger plays a character that things happen to. He doesn't trigger anything himself. That's what I remember him as being as quite a passive.
Never wanna lose you.
Yeah, but that's the character, not is he any good or not. That's But what I'm suggesting is because of that, he doesn't make, to me, much of an impact. right.
So we got time for just 30, 40 more questions. Well, we could end any time now, but the comments will help us. Unless anybody's got stuff they can think of to talk about relating to film, TV. I'm looking around for things here to show or talk about.
The last film I watched was Larger Than Life.
Yeah,
With James Mason.
James Mason. I know James Mason from Frankenstein, the true story. And maybe that A Star Is Born, maybe?
He's in the
A Star Is
second
Born?
Star Is Born, yes.
I liked it because it was kind of downbeat, and I thought for 1955 that was quite rare. You expect it to be sort of, he's got a wife and a child, and it's the 50s, so, but he was sort of struggling and suffering, and it wasn't a feel good film.
Yeah. Looking around, folks. I have to call it a quits. Nothing to show. Well, oh, here we go. I know what everybody's going to say to this. Well, you don't even have to put it up. There's the answer. There's an answer, technical answer, and then an aesthetic. Is that the right word? Technical answer and an aesthetic answer, but personal favorites. Like this one, for example.
Yeah.
I know what you're all going to say.
I've got a fun fact to add to this after we've answered the questions. If you want to hear it.
I wonder what it would be for me, though. I mean, I got to think of this first. I have to see them again. I mean,
I think they're all weak.
Oh, no. If you grew up, well, I don't know. Maybe you grew up when I did. About.
I would have to say, The Man with the Golden Gun.
Oh, there you go. I thought it was going to be another one. Man with the Golden Gun is weak. Yeah, I agree. I haven't seen Octopussy in a long time. I'm going to say that fast because you're not allowed to say that last word anymore. But I haven't seen that in a long time. Or View to a Kill, I haven't seen. View to a Kill, maybe. I know I'm not supposed to say For Your Eyes Only because that's a lot more serious. That's probably the most serious.
But it's all subjective. I mean, if you feel that's the best for you.
Well, I thought everybody was going to say this, and I don't agree with it. I think it's a lot of fun, even though
I think it's silly.
It is silly. It's very silly.
I don't think James Bond should be silly, maybe. But.
Incredibly silly.
TMWGG. Oh, The Man with the Golden Gun.
Well, I don't know if Bond is so silly, and it's mostly that bull crap with Jaws and his girlfriend and all that stuff. Yeah. I've seen what is it called? Centrifuge machine that goes round and round. That is one of the best scenes of all James Bond movies in my book from Moonraker, when he gets in that thing. But Man with the Golden Gun is underrated. Well, there you go. That's because you like it. But that's why I say Battlefield Planet of the Apes is underrated. Yeah, I don't like Live and Let Die much either, to tell you the truth.
Lulu said she was disappointed with her delivery of The Man with the Golden Gun.
Who?
Because she could have. She said, and I agree with her. She could have done it better because she's got a really good bluesy, raunchy voice when she lets go, but it was a little bit, I don't know, forced.
Mm-hmm. I noticed nobody said The Spy Who Loved Me, which is like not only it's one of the best of all James Bond movies.
Oh, what about For Your Eyes Only? It's either For Your Eyes. Yeah, it could be.
That's what I say. Yeah, I'm not that wild about it, even though it's more.
You know, it's been so long since I've seen them. Really long time.
Well, I disagree with you, DJT forever.
I do.
Definitely. Although Lois Childs is a pretty poor Bond girl, I think. In it, I think.
The earliest soundtrack I ever heard when I was maybe 9 years old, because we didn't have a record player until 1968, and then we had one of those Dansette record players, and we had hardly any records. But the old man must have got from somewhere a John Barry Greatest Hits LP without the sleeve. So where the hell he got it from, I don't know. And it was a bit crackly, but it was basically all James Bond hits, side A, side B. Mm-hmm. And I'd just seen You Only Live Twice and From Russia with Love with my parents at the cinema, so I could put some images to it. But things like Space March from You Only Live Twice was so atmospheric. It was kind of like watching the movie, listening to the LP when I was 9 years old. And I think I vaguely became aware at that time how much a composition can add to an atmosphere, that it wasn't all just visuals when you went to the cinema, that even if you weren't conscious of it, the score was doing things.
Mm-hmm. I hear that.
There you go.
Get it? I hear that.
There you go.
Would you like to hear my fun fact, or I could, on the subject of James Bond, or not?
Of course.
I think I told you before how my mum lived next to MGM Studios, and once Roger Moore was just passing by, and my grandmother, her mum, stopped him and got him to wash her car, and he was too polite to say no. I'm just passing by. So Roger Moore washed her car, and then
Wow.
Wonderful.
and then when we moved into Gloucester area, he followed us. So Roger Moore became my neighbour.
That's
Wonderful.
something.
And,
So I suppose,
he's one of those actors, despite the fact that he was a Tory, he's one of those actors where nobody had a bad thing to say about him. Like, he was really nice to absolutely everybody.
It's
yeah.
like Peter Cushing.
Like Peter Cushing, yeah. He's got that
Boris Karloff.
reputation.
And also,
Henry Winkler.
my dad got into he saw what's his name, Kurt Jurgens.
Oh yeah.
He saw him once outside a club in Yugoslavia, and he was drunk and he was being racist, and my dad couldn't stand for that, so he had words with him, but he wasn't changing his thoughts. So my dad punched Kurt Jurgens. I like to think that he got into a fight with a James Bond villain and won.
Oh wow.
My dad punched Kurt Jurgens.
Yeah.
I actually think he's the best Blofeld who was never Blofeld. Right? I mean, that's whenever I was thinking of a man petting a cat, that's the kind of image I would have had. Somebody like that. Not freaking Donald Pleasant, sorry, or Telly Savalas, for God's sake. Anyway. Anyhow, this question comes up a lot, and you can't answer it. Can you answer it? Maybe you can. I can't. I like movies from the 30s through the 70s. It's hard for me to pick one.
I
The way to break that down is to allocate decades to certain genres, like sci-fi in the 1950s. That can help you clarify what the best decade overall might be.
I don't know, because I like sci-fi and horror. I like in every decade, so it's hard for me to.
Well, but you might find that there are more classics, more.
Well, they always pull that card. You know, they say like classic horrors. Classics are usually the 30s, right?
No, that's not true. There are plenty of classic sci-fi films from the 1950s.
Well, that's true. I can't name any. I can't name one. I should say.
I could name one for every year in the 1950s.
That's not what I meant to say. I said something wrong. I can't name one decade is what I meant to say. I can't name like any one decade.
And maybe the most classic film noirs occurred in the 1940s. Maybe the most classic gangster films occurred in either the 30s or the 70s, maybe. So that's how you would kind of do it.
No, well, I don't agree with horror. I don't agree with you. I think there's 30s, even the 80s. Some people think the slasher era is the best stuff for horror, and some people think the classic, like I like, right, the Universal classic.
Well, but if you're answering it personally, it doesn't matter what other people say. It comes down to you, what you're saying. So for horror, for me, it would be either the 50s or I don't know, either the 50s. Yeah, I guess I'd settle. No, I'd have to think about it. I'm thinking 1950s to 60s, but then I'm thinking, but what about early 70s though? So
well, since it comes down to personally for yourself, that's what I said. For horror, for me, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I like all of them. It's hard to pick one.
It is difficult because you've got all those universals crossing over from the 30s to the 40s.
A lot of times I'd rather watch the 40s ones, to be honest with you.
Completely opinion based.
Sure.
There's no wrong answer, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a question I don't like.
I can only go so far with there's no wrong answer, Lark, before I think, no. There is some objectivity in aesthetics, even though it's all personal opinion. But it's not as if every film is equal to every other film, because some people like this film and some people like that film. There has to be some objectivity in there somewhere.
Well, that's the thing. I get into this all the time not lately, but when I used to talk on film forums. Now it's getting interesting, and I'm going to have to go soon again. But about rating films, I used to argue with a couple of guys because they would rate films. We'd watch a film, and we'd all have our ratings on this. This was before we were doing this. It was just typing. and they'd have a list, and it would be like, I'll just come up with things like Citizen Kane, for example, right? Both of them would give it 4 stars, right? Now I probably would too. That's not the best example, come to think of it. Amadeus is an example. Okay, Amadeus, everybody 4 stars, 4 stars. I gave it a 1. I hated it that much. Now the thing is, some people don't want, like, when it comes to a film, you don't, you think you're torn, or I am speaking for myself, between 2 things. Number one, how was it objectively as a piece of work, as a film, and how did I like it? Like, I could see Attack of the 50-Foot Woman from the 50s. I think that's completely thoroughly entertaining for what it is. A stupid, idiotic, grade B or minus or Z schlock fest. So I can't give it like 1 star or 2 stars, you know, because I give it 3 out of 4 with an explanation. It's a good, 3 I call good. I don't do 5 stars usually. I usually do 1 is poor, 2 is, average, 3 is good, and 4 is excellent. Sometimes I'll put half-star increments in there, personally. So the thing I'm saying is, it's hard for me, and I think a lot of fans, when you're reviewing a movie that has an awful reputation, how do you possibly give it a 3 or 2.5 when everybody gives it a bomb or 0 stars or 1? And the same thing for a great film. If there's great films, people are afraid. Suppose somebody sees Citizen Kane and they actually absolutely are bored out of their wits, right? And they don't like it for whatever reason. I appreciate it. I'd give it 4. And they say, well, I only liked it 2 stars worth. I give it 2.
I know some people who feel that way. They just say that they don't like the subject matter, so they dismiss the entire film.
The subject matter, but not just so much the subject matter. But I think that then what I say is, I think what we're talking about here too is, then what's the point of doing these things if we're not going to be subjective? Because if there's only one correct answer, Kane. Some people say that. How could you rate such and such movie a 1? That's a 4-star movie. How could you rate something 2 stars when it's obviously a 3-star movie? As if you have 1 million people, everybody rates it the same. 1 million authors write a thing.
It comes down to taste. That's how.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It has to be subjective. Otherwise, there's no point. If there's only one correct rating and we all give the same rating because we know, objectively speaking, technically what it is, then where's the individualism in it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. I don't think. I don't agree with, and I don't even like the opinion that everything is of equal value, and it just depends personally what value you put on it, and then your opinion, it counts just as much as somebody else's. I don't go for that sort of egalitarianism, and I don't think it's honest either. But on the other hand, there is a matter of taste and what might turn you off. Certain actors might turn you off. Like, I can't stand Ethel Merman and I can't stand Ginger Rogers, but I don't know if I can't stand Ginger Rogers because I know she was one of the people who ratted on people in the House on American.
Oh, that's nothing to do with the performance, though, no?
Well, that's what I'm telling you, Joe, is I don't know how much I'm being prejudiced by knowing that about her. Or whether, if I didn't know that, would I still find her irritating? Her performance is irritating. So how would I be able to separate out those two? And on the other hand, you can get a director like Ed Wood, who, for instance, Plan 9 from Outer Space is just a gorgeous film for me to watch. I love it. There's so many wonderful eccentric touches to that film, but I know, or I feel I know, that those eccentric touches are accidental. They're not deliberate. You're not supposed to laugh at the times when you laugh, but that's the delight of the film. So I'm getting something out of that film, partly based on the eccentricity of Ed Wood and the eccentricity of Vampira and all those weird kooks that he got in the cast. It's like, I mean, those are real values.
I agree with you on this one. Yeah.
So that's how I would justify, and because I've got a great love for camp and sometimes kitsch as well. Camp is like intended irony, and kitsch is kind of accidental irony. And I love the kitsch in the Ed Wood films, and I could make an aesthetic case for those being values. But I'm also aware that for somebody else, because it's all unintended, what they'd see is the lack of craftsmanship in it, and that would put them off the whole film.
Right.
So if somebody disagreed with me, it's not that I'm not saying that their disagreement is incorrect, because I could see how their disagreement could be justified by disliking the things that precisely the things I like about it. So it is what I'm saying is it's a combination of there are rules for aesthetics, rules for the right and wrong in aesthetics, but there's also a subjective interpretation that also matters for every individual. So I'm kind of halfway between the two arguments.
Well, I think what I try to do, because when I do ratings, I used to rate them all the time, one of my notebooks and things. I would try to mix it, like come up with a compromise. An example might be a film like The Omega Man with Charlton Heston. I love that movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. It can do no wrong. For me, it's 4 stars out of 4. 4 stars worth of entertainment, except I stop and say, well, it's not really that great of a movie, technically. Or is it really there's some plot holes, or there's some things I could see that aren't right, so I deduct some. So I give it 3.
Like the guy going for a newspaper when he's supposed to be the only man left alive.
That kind of thing. Well, yeah, those kind of things. But then again, there's lots of almost every movie you can find mistakes. But the thing is, like, that's one of them. But not. But you see, I don't know. So I give it 3 out of 4. If you said what's your rating, I say it's a good movie. That's why I look at it as star ratings being short for fair, poor, excellent, very good. So I say it's a good movie, not a great movie. Then there's movies that to me, they like the Ben-Hur movie that I love. I love Ben-Hur. I think that's for both aesthetically and enjoyment and technically. I think it's I think the best thing is when they work together. They coincide. But other times, like I'm not going to call Attack of the 50-Foot Woman a 4-star movie just because I enjoy it that much. It's not. I might give it 2.5 or 3, but it won't be 1. It won't be 1, or that kind of thing. So, but these 2 fellas that I talked about, it was no surprise to any of their ratings. I could tell you what they were going to be before they even wrote them, and we discussed them, because they didn't even do it consciously. They were doing it unconsciously because they knew kind of what these movies, their reputations were. So they would give Gone with the Wind 4 stars. They would give, I don't know, I can't think, Lawrence of Arabia 4 stars, or and I'd say, I wonder if you didn't know a film's reputation. If you didn't know, if you'd never heard of a film, I'm going to show you a movie here, whatever it is. It's called Citizen Kane. Watch that movie. And I've never heard of it before. Is it supposed to be good? Is it supposed to be bad? What is it? I'm not going to tell you. Watch it. You tell me what you think. Yeah. Then I think you might get some of these people. They won't use their unconscious to be biased in favor of giving it a courtesy.
There is a herd instinct amongst God knows how many people that I find disturbing. That you see in all kind of walks of life, where they'll follow the prevailing opinion, and allow it to overrule their individuality. That always worries me, and you see it in examples like that. So if a film has a massive reputation, then they'll pay lip service to that reputation. But on the other hand, you also get the contrarians who, precisely because it's got such a great reputation, they'll say it's rubbish. They'll go completely the other way.
Oh, I know people like that. Well, because I look at this, I'm late again by a minute. But let's take this. As I'm wearing the shirt, the Friday the 13th series. Everybody trashes the series, but a good example is Roger Ebert, a critic who I pretty much I like most of the time, but sometimes not. He saw Friday the 13th Part 2 in a movie theater. He was so disgusted with it, and then later on he wrote a book, and he was like putting his reviews in there, and he got to Friday the 13th Part 2. By this time, there had been 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them or something. He didn't see the other ones. And he writes, at the end, he writes, by the way, this review will suffice for the Friday the 13th film of your choice. You haven't seen the other ones, okay?
Wow.
But that's what I mean, that kind of thing. Here's what
Right.
I'm going to use as an example. Friday the 13th is a one called Jason Lives. It's considered one of the best for fans of the franchise. It's the 6th film. 6th, okay? Here's the thing. If you're rating it as a movie, motion picture, you might give it 1 star. If you're rating it as a horror film, this is out of 4 stars, not 4 stars. You might give it 1 as a motion picture. You might give it 3 as a horror film, but as a Friday the 13th film, it's like one of the best. It's 4. It gets 4 hockey masks. So there's a lot of that in there when I'm reviewing things. A Godzilla film. If I'm reviewing a Godzilla film, am I thinking of it just as a motion picture, just a general movie? Or as a Godzilla, if you're a Godzilla guy and you're ranking the Godzilla movies and rating them, or some may be really good, high up there. You know what I mean?
How does it work as a sequel?
Well, all those kind of things, you know. I mean, I think like James Bond also, the James Bond movies, like, you know, do you rank them just as movies? Yeah, they are movies, but if you're a James Bond aficionado and you're doing a book, you know, this gets 4, whatever you want to call them.
Who is it in the VC? It might be you, Joe, who makes the distinction between saying, for instance, the best album the Beatles ever did, and they make a distinction between saying the best and my favorite.
Yeah.
Is it
right.
you that does that?
I do that. I'm not the only one who does that, but a lot of people do that.
I do that too.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's an example too. Yeah, you know, something that may be technically the best. I could say something. This is technically the best, like Planet of the Apes, the first film, the originals, the best, technically the best. Nowhere near my favorite. I'd watch any of the sequels right now over that, and that just has to do with being tired of it and stuff like
I
that.
have a bit of a hard time. If something is your favorite, then isn't that the best to you? Isn't?
Yes.
Well, but
you got to look at it critically from other people's eyes and see what it like. Plan 9 from Outer Space. Personally, I'd give that film 4 stars out of 4 stars. I think it's one of the most entertaining films ever made. But if you're looking at it from other people's eyes and critically, you know, you might give it a 1.5 stars.
That's what I mean. You know, so I said, how do you? So that's a great example. Entertainment wise, Tim loves it. You know, it's like it's a 4 stars worth of enjoyment. Okay, full enjoyment. But you have to say, well, you know, the acting, whatever. That's part of the fun is that the acting's bad and the dialogue. Yeah. But the thing is, well, and the sets are bad. So it's like, I'll take some off. Like if I was going to rank Plan 9, I'd probably give it 2 out of 4, which people, or maybe, you know, maybe even 2.5 for entertainment. But I wouldn't give it 4 because I have to also, I want to figure in also it's the merits. Also the demerits, because I'm not going to give it a bomb. I'm not going to give it a 0. I'm good, you know. I like it enough, right? That I want to give it something, but I'm not going to give it. That's me. I wouldn't give it 4. It's tough, and this is something we should discuss in full on a show because I have to go now. Let's get back to this, guys, because I'm late again.
Okay.
And we had nothing to talk about for 10 minutes or so, and now this came. So I like this topic. All right, guys. I'm sorry we can't go on more.
Well, just respond to what Brian said in the chat. Tammy and the T-Rex is pure cheese, but fun. He gave me that Blu-ray, and I found it to be deeply emotional and very moving. Maybe you think that's stupid, but that was my experience with it. I got a lot of.
There's a lot of good points being made here, but I just have to go. I'm late already. Yeah. All right, guys. Next time. See ya. Thank you, everybody. We'll do it again.
All right. See you, people.
See ya.
Bye.